interesting popped up on Sephora yesterday. I'm showing it right here. So it looks like Pat McGrath Labs is coming out with another mini eyeshadow palette in Sublime Smoke. Now, before you get too excited, I don't physically have it, but I do have all of the shades, so I am going to show you a look with it, what the palette's going to look like. So it's gonna be teeny tiny. This is an older one that launched last year in Midnight Voyage. I love this one, and I have been wanting another one of these, which is why I'm so excited. So for $29 on April 10th, you'll be able to pick up this mini Sublime Smoke eyeshadow palette from Pat McGrath. This is a phenomenal way to get to try Pat McGrath eyeshadows without breaking the bank all at once. And what's exciting is these shades are all from bigger mothership palettes. So if you couldn't bite down on the price of a big mothership palette, you get 6 shades from those palettes in a little palette just like this. So the packaging of it is going to look like the one that I have, except it's going to be a light pink color, and this color scheme is very neutral. You have a pop of warm tone, a dark brown, and then a lot of like golds and shimmer shades. So the one that came out last year is like kind of purpley based. I really love this one, and what excites me about this year's launch is last year's was really good quality. I even argue with a couple shades they improved the quality, so you aren't getting skimped on quality if it's the same as it was last year. And this makes it great to travel with Pat McGrath. You honestly can't really get tinier than this for 6 eyeshadows. Now, it's a really small amount of product. In terms of value, not that great. But have you seen how big and heavy and clunky the big motherships are? Look at this. This is a bite-sized way to try Pat McGrath, and you can either just pick this up to travel with if you already own the colors, if that's something you'd be interested in, or you can try this and see if maybe you want to dive a little deeper into Pat McGrath to see if it's more worth it. This year, all 6 shades already exist. Last year, we did get a new shade, so as a Pat McGrath collector, I'm like, ooh, I wish we got new shades, but I totally understand why these would all be repeat shades. I don't have an issue with that. So let's take a look at what shades are going to be in this palette. You might already have these shades. All of the shades are in 3 palettes. So if you have Divine Rose 1, if you have Midnight Sun, and if you have Bronze Seduction, you're gonna have some shades in this palette. So let's take a look. And then it goes on to tell you all of the eyeshadows that this palette contains. And noted, it does look like it's limited edition. We'll see how long that lasts. So pulling out Bronze Seduction here, there are 2 shades that are in this palette. And they're both going to be the more wearable shades. So we have this one right here is in the new palette, and then this one right here. So I'm going to go ahead and swatch. So we have this golden champagne shimmer, and then we have this one right here, which is kind of like a golden bronze metallic. There is some glimmers in here. So these are the first 2 shades. So that's that bronze shimmer. Isn't it gorgeous? And then this one, I'm thinking my palette's a little old because it's getting a bit of a drier feeling. I want to feel it in the new palette. Would it be too much if I purchased that? I don't know, but here are the first 2 shades. Now, Midnight Sun, if you have this palette, you might want to reconsider maybe picking up the mini, because 3 of the 6 shades, half of the shades, are in this palette. So it's going to be the Extreme Mahogany, and then this brown shade right here, and then this one right here. Now, if you have this palette, this shade is actually here. It just fell out and I put them in the wrong spot, but it's this one, and what would be here, but it's this one. So let me swatch. This one is so creamy. Mine kind of broke, so maybe it would be good for me to pick this one up. But look, you can see what a gorgeous neutral look this is going to make. The colors that are in this palette make total sense for a complete look. And even though like these shades themselves are kind of boring, like these are all shades that we already have, it's a great wearable look, and it makes sense in such a small format. Oh, I just realized I called the one in Midnight Sun the wrong shade names. Ignore that, brain fart. But from the Divine Rose palette, it's going to be this shade right here. So this one is Extreme Mahogany. Yeah, has a little bit of warmth to it. So just this one, really beautiful. But these are the new shades that are going to make up this new palette right here. So pretty for an everyday look. I think that calls for me to put it on my eyes, so give me a second. So just a good classic neutral eye is what I got. I used all 6 of the shades. It doesn't need to go quite so dramatic, but let me show you what I did. It's really simple. I messed up all of the names in the first part, so like ignore that. These are the right names. So I'm gonna take Taboo. This one is in the Midnight Sun palette, and it's just the perfect mid-tone brown. And I'm using an Esam G34, and I'm using this as the transition shade. I'm kind of blending it out just a little bit. And then the one shade from Divine Rose, I'm going into Extreme Mahogany with an Esam S33, and this shade, Pigment. So just be prepared for that if it's at all the same, which it should be. This actually gives a lot more depth than you'd expect. So I'm going to work on blending this out. And we're gonna go even deeper, so prepare yourself. So with a little blinged brush, what is this? E22, we're taking Extreme Dusk, which is the darkest shade that we have to work with. And I'm gonna focus it in the outer corner of the lash line and then blend it out. And this shade is great because it can make a good eyeliner or really for a smoky eye if you want. So we're gonna work this out nice and slow. Very easy to use as well, blending itself out. So we'll start off like this. We might go back. So then we're gonna take Bronze Eclipse, which again is in the Midnight Sun right here. And this shade is so creamy and beautiful. It's more of a metallic shade, shimmer, and I'm placing that all over the lid. This is just a great everyday bronzy eye shade, just like that, but to amp it up a little bit. From the Bronze Seduction palette, we're gonna take Bronze Blaze. So this is also a bronze shade, but there's glitter in it, so it's just gonna amp up the look just a little bit, just like that. And then the last shade that we're taking is Skin Show Divine Glow, which is the 6th and final shade. And I'm going to pop it in the inner corner to highlight, and right here. Then I'll do the lower lash line with you. I'm just gonna clean up and put some concealer on first. So lower lash line, I wanted it to be pretty deep and smoky. I'm just gonna go ahead and layer these 2 shades from Midnight Sun. So I'm gonna start off with the transition shade just to have a little bit of depth to this look that's not just one shade. And then as you can see, I wanted the lower lash line pretty smoky. So we're gonna go into the darkest shade and just blend and smoke her out. So you can see I wanted it dark down there. And then I'm gonna take a pencil brush and I'm gonna start off with the shimmery bronze, not the glimmery bronze, and just pop it right here. And then for a little extra glam from the Bronze Seduction, we're gonna use the glittery shade. So that's it for the eyeshadow look. Can you get this with other eyeshadow palettes? Yes, you know, Mcgrath did not choose the most unique color story for this, but I think in such a small capacity, it's fine because this is an everyday look that's gonna go for so many occasions and you can just pack it in this tiny little thing. So let me finish the rest of my makeup and I'll be back. So here's the final look. Everything else on my face that I'm wearing, I will have linked down below, but it's gorgeous. Obviously, nothing unique, nothing crazy, but a great way to try Pat McGrath and just have really wearable yet versatile colors. You can go daytime, you can go evening with these. I really like the colors that were chosen for this because I feel like they all make sense, they all have their own purpose, and they all can kind of change up the vibe of the look that you're doing. So if you have all 6 shades, the 3 palettes mentioned, obviously you don't need this, but I do think it just is a really great size to have. I think I might end up purchasing it maybe like during the Sephora sale or something. I don't know. I want to see if the colors are different in terms of like quality, get some fresher versions of these, because this is like an ideal easy makeup look for me. This is a look that I'd wear all the time, so I'd love to have it in a small size in terms of traveling, with all the traveling that I don't do, I guess. Also, did you guys order your bronzers? So I got asked what shades I picked up. If you don't know, Pat McGrath just launched or released bronzers for the first time. So I picked up the 2nd lightest shade and the 3rd lightest shade. I don't like my bronzers too deep, so those are coming to me. And then I also did order the eyeshadow quad. That one isn't shipping until April 10th. And I did see they are going to have those available on Sephora. So if you want to wait, get the 20% discount if you're Rouge for this Sephora VIB sale. That's a great option. But I'll try those out before the sale, hopefully, so I can tell you my thoughts. But yeah, here's the final look. I love the makeup look. This is the kind of makeup look I'd wear to an event where I want to feel really confident. Love it. Quality, I'm sure, is going to be great, and I really love these little guys. Not great values, but a great way to test these. And yeah, so I hope you guys enjoyed this video, found it helpful. I don't know what it was, a review, swatch and sip, demo, whatever it was. I hope you enjoyed it, and let me know what you think of this new upcoming palette. Are you going to pick it up? I'll catch you guys in the next one. Bye guys, have a good one.